Last week we bought and fitted the rototiller and have been itching ever since to get out in the garden to use it. However, it's been a wet and cold start to the week, and so we stayed inside whilst Terry assembled beehives and I started making candles. By Wednesday, we saw that the radishes had sprouted in the greenhouse, but not yet outside. Finally, by Thursday, the ground was dry enough to get to work on the garden beds. Firstly, we tilled last year's dahlia beds, which had been filled with compost and soil last year, and they came up great. Then we redid the 2 new beds Terry had made with a hydraulic tiller a couple of weeks ago, and then added another 2. A tray of meadow flowers and 3 trays of zinnias were planted in the original beds with a paper pot transplanter. Just a few left over, which can be used to fill up any gaps. Up until 6 months ago, this had been a cow paddock and had been for the last at least 30 years. So the soil's probably mostly made up of manure anyway, the top couple of inches. We hadn't had it tested yet, which we will do. But I'm not amending, apart from I might put a bit of root roids in, which is the fungal, the microcosal fungi rise thing for the roots, because we've broken up the soil structure. But there's a lot of grass obviously there. See how this paper pot goes through this. I'm not expecting it to do great things. I can't expect miracles of it. Not great. But straight into paddock soil that's been tilled over. No amendments. Sunflowers are supposed to be tough. Let's see how tough you guys are. And then we set out and rototilled the sunflower maize. A couple of weeks ago, I'd soaked half a bag of bird feed sunflower seeds to see if they would sprout, which they did. I didn't have anywhere prepared to plant them, so I spread them along a line that Terry had dug with the ripper tines on the grader. And now they were coming up. So I knew that the seeds were viable, and now we had a cheap way to seed the sunflower maize. We mixed half soaked and half dry seeds in the hopper of the drill seeder to prevent the wet seeds from sticking together. 2 $7 bags of birdseed almost did the whole maize. Another half a batch to finish it off. Most dahlia growers sold out of the more popular tubers a couple of months ago. Now that the shoots are starting and eyes are beginning to become more visible, more dahlias are now available for sale. And so I grabbed just a few more that I didn't have. Moonglow. You're looking a bit crook there. At 20 degrees and sunny, it was a glorious day, but inside the greenhouse it was almost hitting 40 and it was too hot to work in. We had a frame of a small greenhouse that remained intact after its cover had been ripped off, and so we added some shade cloth and created a secondary workspace. A shade house. Perfect. Next, it was time to tackle the vegetable beds from last year. We managed to get the tractor into most of them, and they were easily turned over. Then we went over the pumpkin patch area where we'd previously tested my tine and grader ideas and turned them into proper beds ready to be planted into next week. I had been hoping that by the end of this week we'd have most things planted. Unfortunately, the weather slowed us down somewhat. We did manage to get a good start in the flower beds at least, and the maize, and the radishes and the wicking beds have now popped up. Next week, it will be full steam ahead on the planting and restoring of the arches and arbours in the garden. Hopefully you'll join us again then. Thanks for watching.